It'd be handling, performance, etc. This is the new 325i Shadowline. It's a two-door 325. In fact, it's known in motor racing circles as 327 because it's a 2.7 litre motor car. Peter Lance is there, number 10. Stuart Bromfield car. Number 13 is the next man you just saw in your picture. And it's a nice welcome back there to Robbie Smith. We haven't heard his name for a long time in the Kyalami Estates BMW. And Michael Briggs is right thereabouts. He's down 700 cc's, about 100 kilograms lighter. That's all there is in it. And he's hard pressed with this flock of BMWs, or the swarm of them, all around them. But this is going to be hot stuff. Michael Briggs rolled it in practice. They in fact drove a car up, Roddy Turner's car up from Port Elizabeth last night. It is in it now. Watch Farouk at the start. The light turns to green and we're in business. 12 laps ahead of us, 44 kilometres. I see Derek Irving creeping around the right-hand side. Then down the middle goes Peter Lance into the lead. It's Lance, it's Stanger just behind him. He's from Speedy Car. Then down in Clarkstorp is Farouk, well known down there. As all the other classes, right down to the 1300s, come through and they get through Budget Car corner for the first time. You've got to be very careful, and it's crowded as they go into Yellow Pages. Very crowded. Robbie Smith, and Michael Briggs goes wide there. He's lost it out to about another 4 BMWs. Willie Hepburn takes his chances in that Rudderfield Delta 16 valve. That's Willie with a blue line across his bonnet. He's just on the outside there of 19, who's just losing it as Michael just Briggs is into it and he's out of that. Well, he's had a wonderful time this weekend. That's the second motor car that he's just done. Ramondini, who he went into there. It's a real battlefield down there. Ramondini had that BMW. That was in the wars at the end of the main straight at Velcom. He got centre punched there. I think it was by Mike White at Velcom. And he's having a bad time. 2 races, 2 crashes. And Michael Briggs is not having a good weekend at the moment. As on the race goes Willie Hepburn's going nicely. He's got Derek Irving on his tail, I see, as they come down the mine shaft. Right into Conti, it's Lance and it is Goddard. It's Farouk Danga, Tony Viana's next, and Robbie Smith. So the 5 BMWs are on their way on the round. Now let's have a look at it as they come into the second of the top sport S's. That's Ramondini there. Michael Briggs on the inside. He loses it. Going round the outside is Willie Hepburn. Briggs has got hardly any room to go. I think he's punctured his wheel there. He couldn't turn it. Those straw bales are certainly going to save that motor car. Well, that's a great pity for him because he tries so hard, does Michael Briggs. And there was the battlefield. And they were just here, there and everywhere as they went through this corner. This is going to change a few things in this race as they come through the start and finish, and it is still Peter Lance. It's the Stuart Bromfield car in the front there, and on his tail is Jeff Goddard. And he did well at the circuit last time. It was Lance won here the last time as he goes wide at the Budget corner, and Goddard's going for the inside. He's taking his chances. He's going across the curbing, and he's going to push his way through. If Lance is not going to give him space, he's going to take the space. So there goes one mirror, and Goddard's now lost a mirror, his right-hand driving mirror, but I don't think he's too worried about it. And Lance is still coming back to challenge. Challenging very hard. You can see Goddard's mirrors well tucked in there. Lance is fighting his way back. He's coming back with a vengeance. Third is Farouk Danga. Look at this for close racing. Tony Viana's in there looking for his chances. Robbie Smith's the next one. Those 5 BMWs are fighting it out in the front. And Viana's picked himself up a place from Danga. He got it, he's got it. Now this is a danger man here. He was only 5th on the grid to start the race, or 4th on the grid. He's now 3rd on the road and challenging. He's got Lance ahead of him. And Goddard and Lance and Viana rather will be in radio control, and they can almost play it as they like there. But they've got heavy competition. It's very slippery. If you get onto the marbles and this one you lose it. It's Goddard, it's Lance, it's Viana, it's Danga. No, it's Robbie Smith's got past it. Robbie Smith in the Kyalami Estates BMW has got into 4th position as they come over the hill and head down towards us. They'll be hitting over 210 kilometers an hour as they come down here. And Danga's looking out there to see if there's a way past Robbie Smith, but he's very fast. One of the fastest drivers we've had in this country. Now Lance has got the brakes. That's not always a sign that they're braking. In fact, it's very often they just dab the brakes there to show the man, or to put him off, that they are slowing down. And that sort of psychologically puts him up a wee bit. Nice close shot there for Farouk Danga. You can't get it much closer than this. They finished 2 laps. They've got 10 laps to go.
En 'n ongelooflike vertoning hier deur die eerste 5 BMW's. Eerste man in klas B op die oomblik is aan klas A motors hier nie, waarna ons nou kyk. Eerste man in klas B is Derek Irving, hy jag 'n kadet GSI. En dan is dit Mike White wat in die klas C motortjie opgeskuif het na die 8ste posisie. En hy daai plek weer verloor. Maar dit is Stannic groep N wedrenne Sien vir Willie Hepburn wat hier in die kuipe intrek. Willie Hepburn is uit die wedren uit. Dis 'n 12 ronde wedren hier en steeds is dit Jeff Goddard. Hy het hierdie jaar die total besparings algeheel gewen en hier loop hy voor in die Stannic groep N wedren vir standaard produksiemotors. Jeff Goddard, voltydse toetsbestuurder vir BMW, net hier naby Kyalami en Biana probeer aan die binnekant van Lance. Ons het vroeër hierdie week geleentheid gehad om self in hierdie motors te jaag hier op Kyalami, hierdie klas A BMW 32, kom ons noem nou 327's. 325IS is die amptelike naam. En ek kan vir u sê dat dit baie harde werk is agter die stuur van daardie motor. Die krag op die agterwiele is geweldig. En as jy hom net op die verkeerde plek het op daai draai, dan is daar die sterk geneig om uit te beweeg. En dan moet jy jou storie ken om daardie motor op die baan te hou. Maar hier is 'n stryd om die tweede plek tussen Peter Lance en Tony Viana. Tony Viana, BMW se nommer 1 bestuurder in die Winfield BMW span. Robbie Smith kort op 'n hake en Farouk Dangor is ook daar. So hierdie is die aandag. Die aandag is gevestig op hierdie 4 manne wat die sake uitspook om die tweede posisie met Jeff Goddard wat 'n gemaklike voorsprong alreeds opgebou het. Skitterend voorbereide motors, hierdie fabrieksmotors. Kyk hoe hard werk Peter Lance agter die stuur. Dis wat ek bedoel, daai stert wat so uitkom om die skerp draai. Beweeg uit en dan moet jy die motor baie goed onder beheer hou. Farouk Dangor in die buitenste lyn gaan Robbie Smith die 5de posisie hê. Farouk Dangor en Robbie Smith langs mekaar deur budget draai. Een van hulle gaan moet toegee. Nee, nie een van hulle gee toe nie. Nog 'n speeltjie wat gestamp word aan die binnekant en Dangor die binneste lyn. Gaan hy daar die posisie hou? Ja, dit lyk vir my so. Hy kom verby Robbie Smith. Nee, Robbie Smith is langs hom. En oral langs die baan. Ja, daar skuif Robbie Smith nou af in die 5de posisie en hy gaan nou 'n ander taktiek probeer. Heen en weer gooi die manne die motors daar deur die topsport is soos jy kan sien. Dit lyk miskien stadig, maar ek beloof u dit is bitterlik vinnig as hulle deur daai draai gaan. 140 km/h deur 'n 90 grade linkerhandse draai en teen dieselfde snelheid deur 'n 90 grade regterhandse draai is besonder vinnig. Dan kom hulle op na Westbank draai, daardie draai teen ongeveer 90 km/h in tweede rad. Af in die IGI pouvak, die mynskag, af na derde rad en dan af na vierde rad, terug na derde rad vir die draai na links. Die IGI draai, hou hom in derde rad vir Continental draai, gooi die motor hard oor na die regterkant, bly in die binnekant van daardie draai, skuif die motor uit na die buitekant, gebruik soveel pad as wat jy kan. Robbie Smith gaan wyd en dan hou jy hom in die binnekant van die Arva draai daar onder die EGK bruggie deur. En dit is die vinnigste gedeelte van die baan, 240 km/h het ons gesien vroeër hierdie week hier op Kyalami. As hy daar oor die balkie kom. Kom ons wag vir die manne wat in die 6de, 7de en 8de plek is. Dit behoort Breers, Rodney Tim en Derek Irving te wees. Ja, Martinez Breers, Rodney Tim en Derek Irving. Hierdie manne jaag om die klas B oorwinning te behaal. Martinez Breers wat ek oomblik die eerste klas B motor. Dit is 'n 16 klip Volkswagen GTI daarin met Rodney Tim in die 2 liter Opel Kadett en hy probeer nie binnekant aanskuif. Nummer 33, dit is Rodney Tim van die Opel of die Delta Motorsportspan. En kort agter Derek Irving is dit Michael White. Nog 8 rondes wat oorbly en enigiets kan nog gebeur in al hierdie klasse. Oral in die baan af is daar geweldige stryd. Willie Hepburn is terug op die baan. Willie Hepburn het net die kuip ingetrek en hy is terug op die baan. Dit is Nick de Waal se motortjie wat ons daar sien as 'n klas B D motor. Hy en Mike White is besig om mekaar deeglik op te kou want dit is tussen hulle twee wat die klas C punte staan. Lê die stryd op die punte in klas C, Mike White en Nick de Waal, maar Mike White wat hier 'n baie goeie kwalifiserende werksprongposisie gehad het met Nick de Waal net verder effens terug in klas C. Maar steeds Martinez Breers van die Volkswagen handelaarsspan. Het Rodney Tim baie kort op sy hake as hulle daar in die rigting van Westbank draai beweeg. En dit is waarvoor die toeskouers opgedaag het. Dit is wat hulle kom kyk het hier op Kyalami. En hierdie is die stryd om die 6de posisie. Martinez Breers, Rodney Tim en Derek Irving. Daar is Mike White, kort agter hulle. Is Mike White en Nick de Waal wat ook daar in die geveg is. En dit is natuurlik klas C motors, soos ons gesê het, klas C is vir 1600 cc motortjies. Hierdie is die Toyota Conquest RSI modelle. Terug na die voorlopers. Steeds Jeff Goddard, Tony Viana in die tweede plek, Peter Lance in die derde plek met Farouk Dangor vierde en Robbie Smith in die 5de plek. Hulle gaan nou die 5de ronde van hierdie wedren voltooi en nog steeds is daar geen genade wat gegee word of gevra word in hierdie wedren. Die Viana is besig om nader te skuif van Jeff Goddard. gaan Viana daar in slaag om momentaal by hom verby te gaan. Smith gaan baie wyd in Nashua draai. So ook Farouk Dangor, dis die einde van die 5de ronde. Steeds Jeff Goddard, Tony Viana, Peter Lance, Dangor en Robbie Smith. Dis die eerste 5.
And how do you keep a racing line under conditions like this? Absolutely impossible. They've been side by side. They've been almost on top of each other. They've been taking each other's mirrors off, rearranging BMWs. 5 of them up at the top in the first 5 positions, and it's still Jeff Goddard leading from Tony Viana. Tony Viana, of course, the number 1 driver for the Winfield BMW team. And there you see Peter Lance going very, very wide as he comes up to the Top Sport S's. It's still Goddard from Viana, Lance, Dangle, Smith. That battle 6th, 7th and 8th position is still between Martinez Breyer, Rodney Tim and Derek Irvin. But there they are, the leaders, Jeff Goddard and Tony Viana in the BMW 325i's or 327s, if you like. And that is car number 3, Jeff Goddard, going into West Bank, coming out of West Bank now, and they'll head down that mine shaft up to 240 kilometers an hour. Transvaal 12, Orange Free State 3, that's the rugby score from Ellis Park. Back to the motor racing. Jeff Goddard still leads from Tony Viana, and Peter Lance in 3rd position. There comes that green BMW, very distinctive, that green BMW, but it's still Jeff Goddard out on the course. He is leading from Tony Viana, and it's interesting, he was on pole position, but he didn't take off in pole position, and eventually he managed to get back into the lead. There, the fastest lap time so far, Jeff Goddard, and that 109.32 seconds at 127.7 kilometers an hour, and that is an average speed. So it's still Jeff Goddard coming up to complete his 6th lap of the race, and he's being chased very, very hard by Tony Viana now. Viana getting closer and closer all the time, with Peter Lance and Farouk Dangor in 3rd and 4th position, still battling it out. Here they come to complete their 6th lap. Going over the line to complete their 6th lap, but it's still Jeff Goddard from Tony Viana. Look at this battle, 5 BMWs almost all together. There can't be more than 20 car lengths between the 5 of them, and they really, really are very, very fast indeed. Of course, the Class A lap record of 109 seconds, 109.2, that is the Class A lap record, and they are very, very close to that indeed. There they go once again, into the Top Sport S's. This is where anything can happen. They come into that slippery part now. There's all the concrete that's been laid down, the holes in the track are over there. They come out of it, they head up to West Bank, they'll go round West Bank, very, very sharp turn West Bank indeed, and then down into the fastest part of the course, into the mine shaft. Here they come, up and out of West Bank corner. And trying to go through on the inside is Viana, and he's pushed him and he's got him off the track, he's got him off the racing line, and it looks like Viana's going to take him coming down the mine shaft. That's Viana on the right hand side of your screen, and Jeff Goddard on the left hand side of your screen. Who goes into the corner first? It's Tony Viana, he's in the lead, and Jeff Goddard is not going to be happy about that. He is not going to be happy about that at all. So the lead has changed once again, with Tony Viana now in 1st position, Jeff Goddard in 2nd position, and Peter Lance is closing very, very quickly. But Jeff Goddard is going to try absolutely everything he knows to try and get back as they come up over the hill. Look at that beautiful shot, winter's day in Johannesburg, glorious sunshine. Here we are, let's look at it again. On the inside is Viana, on the outside is Goddard, and he just nudges him on the back of the car there. Watch the car now move to the right, back wheels go out. There he goes, back wheels go out, and he cuts it back on the inside, and he takes him now. There he goes, on the inside line, and Tony Viana takes the lead from Jeff Goddard. Some fine driving by Tony Viana, but they are absolutely neck and neck together. There is nothing between them.
And Peter Lance has moved up a lot closer too, so he's getting into a challenging position as we get into the final stages. They'll have completed 8 laps of this race now. Tony Viana, this order's not going to stay the same until the end of this race, that's for sure. They're coming on some of the heavier traffic. Little 116 there, Sean Wright in a Conquest. It's the 1300cc Conquest as this high-speed train of BMW 325s approach and pass him. Viana now still in front with Goddard there. And Goddard now has he got away through this lot as they go up the Winfield Hill. These two Winfield BMWs of they certainly ruled the roost in this form of racing for a long, long time as they go around West Bank. This is where it all happened the last time. Viana got the better of that encounter, and Lance is moving up to challenge. Farouk Dangor there from Klerksdorp. He won at Swartkops a little early in the year. They've got away now from Robbie Smith, and then brilliant driving there. Martinez Breers in the Works Golf. It's the Dykor paddle beating golf is leading Class B ahead of Rodney Tim, and that battle is not over yet either. He's in the Delta Motorsport Cadet right on his tail from Port Elizabeth. Derek Irvin comes next in the Albaranti car. In Class C, it's Mike White. Glenn Gibbons is there about. In Class D, it's Neil Brink. In Class E, it's Brian Late from Delta Forces leading in the 1300cc Opel Cadet Cup. And Lance is starting to challenge. They know he's there. Don't believe all those brake lights. That doesn't mean to say they're actually slowing down. They have this two-footed braking. They keep the foot down hard. And I think he's got him. He's got him. He went through on the inside. Viana couldn't hold his line, but he's got the acceleration. He seemed to be in a better gear as we get into the final quarter of this race. 3/4 have gone, or 2/3 of this race have gone. In fact, we've got those 4 laps remaining. The circuit's taken a tremendous pounding day, but it's standing up well now, and Lance is looking for a place through. The radio contact that Goddard and Viana have between them could almost dictate who's going to come first and second in this race if Lance can't find a way through. He's on his own here against the 2 Winfield BMWs who know exactly what they're about in the front there. Lance won here the last time and they don't want it to happen again, and this is the way they're doing it as they go up the Winfield Hill now, up onto the shelf at Westbank. And who is it? Here he comes now, and it is it's Viana in the front there still with Goddard. Is he going to make a move? Because Lance wants past and Danger's getting there. Robbie Smith lost touch with that leading group. His first time back in racing for more than a year. And then we've got behind them the Class B cars, and they are having a battle royal amongst themselves. That is for sure. Class B is Breers, it's Tim, it's Irving, and it's Van Skalkwijk. He's new into racing now. He's just come back into Stannic Group in racing in the 2-litre motor car. As they come down towards us, here they come up on, I think it's Henk Ace ahead of them in the 1300 car, and here comes the high-speed train. They're coming up to finish 3/4 of the race at 9 laps. Still Viana and Goddard. Peter Lance, got to watch he doesn't overheat those contours. He goes down there onto that ripple concrete. Danger's very late braking there, as you can see. The lights coming on very late. And that is a very successful driver for Ruud Danger. He's the one behind that car in your picture now. That's Peter Lance. So you got a close-up of there. 21 is leading Class B. Martinez Breers, the Volkswagen dealer team. Behind him he's got 33 is Rodney Tim in the Delta Motorsport Cadet, and behind him he's got number 31, which is Derek Irving, and then Grant van Skalkwijk follows them in the 2-litre class. We're into the final stages. They've done 9 laps. There's the rugby update for you. Transvaal and the Friendly are 12 points to Free State's 9 as we go into the Top Sport S's for the 10th time.
Nou, dat is nog so 3,5 rondes oor van hierdie wedren, en hoe is dit vir 'n stryd tussen 2 spanmaats, Jeff Goddard en Tony Viana. En soos ek reeds gesê, ons het die voorreg gehad om in die begin van hierdie week in een van hierdie motors wat jy nou sien te jaag. Tony Viana en Jeff Goddard het die motors hier op Kyalami gehad, en ons het hulle 'n bietjie uitgeprobeer, en dit was nogal 'n ervaring om oor huis toe te skryf. Maar terug by die wedrenne, en Peter Lance wat 'n posisie daar het wat hom die geleentheid gaan gee om voortou te neem as enige van die voorste 2 manne 'n fout begaan. Tony Viana natuurlik 'n baie ervare renjaer wat in verskillende formules in motorwedrenne al reeds sy merk gemaak het. En Jeff Goddard wat ook 'n baie ervare renjaer is en wat sy saak geniet. Dit is die stryd daar om die Klas E titel of die Klas E oorwinning hier vandag, terwyl die voorlopers die stadiger Klas E motortjies begin inhaal. En die strijd daar, terwyl Goddard sy motor so 'n bietjie heen en weer swaai, en die geleentheid vir Lance gee om in te kom, en gaan hy nie binnekant probeer. Peter Lance probeer nie binnekant, nee, maar daai lyn is baie stewig daar om die draai. En enkele stadiger lyn gewees wat hy daar geniet. Stryd in Klas E tussen Brian Luit en Grant McCleary en 2 Opel Cadet 1300's. 2 rondes wat oorbly. Tony Viana wat sy ligte flits om vir die agter die stadiger motors te wys. Hy's besig om nader te kom, gee pad, gee my kans om verby te kom. Ek sien voorloper. En hulle is nou besig om hierdie agterste motors in te haal. Die motor net reg voor Viana op die baan op die oomblik is Grant McCleary en die Kia Delta se Opel Cadet 1300. En hy se moet pad gee vir Viana. Dan kom hy aan die binnekant in, net voor hulle is dit Colin Hasty in die Midas Opel Cadet 1300. En nog steeds is het Pierelaans wat daar arendsoog, met 'n arendsoog dophou wat aan die gang is hier voor hom. Hier is net voor hulle nou, kom hulle by een van die agterste, by die ander Fords verby. En dan is dit Brian Luit wat sal moet pad gee. Brian Luit wat op die oomblik voorloop in klas E in die Delta Force Opel Cadet, ook 'n 1300 metertjie, en hy sal moet pad gee vir die voorlopers. Nog so 'n ronde en 'n half oor, wanneer hulle nou weer by die grote vlag verbykom, en dan kan 'n mens verwag dat die vuurwerke behoorlik gaan begin te skiet, want dan is dit nog net een ronde wat oorbly voordat die grote vlag gaan val, en dan gaan enige van hierdie manne, dan is dit wanneer enige van hierdie manne natuurlik graag die oorwinning sal wil behaal. Salzman se klas B Opel Cadet, dis 'n 2-liter Opel Cadet 8-klep motor. En steeds is dit hierdie stadige verkeer wat moontlike faktor kan wees in hierdie wedren. Rooi remligte beteken dat hulle op die hard op die remme klim. Nie noodwendig altyd is soos wat ons gesê. Goed, dis die laaste rond. Voorloper in klas B op die oomblik nog steeds Martinus Breers, in klas C is dit Michael White. Mike White is op die oomblik 8ste algeheel. Die laaste ronde wat aanbreek, klas D is dit Neil Brink aan die Ford en Danny Viana nog steeds die voorloper. Kyk of daar met die reaksie van die skare redelike ernstige onder ons hier was verder af van die baan. Ons het dit vir u probeer wys. Daar is die jongste telling, Transvaal wat daai voorsprong groter maak. 15 punte teenoor 9 hier op Ellis Park. En steeds Danny Viana wat hierdie voortou neem. Op in die rigting van Westbank draai vir die laaste keer, en dit lyk of daardie gaping groot genoeg is vir hom om hierdie oorwinning te behaal. Daar was een of ander onder ons hier verder af in die veld. Dit lyk of dit dalk tussen Breers en Roddy Turner kon gewees het. Klas C is die voorloper Michael White, 'n nuwe ronderekord in klas C vir hom agter sy naam, 1 minuut 51,1 sekondes. Dis baie vinnig vir 'n 1600cc motortjie. En vir die laaste keer deur Continental draai is dit Tony Viana en Jeff Goddard. En as hy sy motor op die baan kan hou, dan gaan hy die oorwinning behaal. Tony Viana van die Woodfield BMW span met Pierelaans in die 3de plek, Farouk Dangor in die 4de plek algeheel, en 5de behoorde te wees Robbie Smith in 'n privaat ingeskrewe BMW 325 ES. Klas D is dit Neil Brink soos ons gesê het, en klas E is die voorloper by die vorige ronde was dit Brian Light van die Delta Force span. Maar die laaste draai, Nashua draai, is dit wat hulle binne gaan, en Goddard probeer nog so 'n laaste poging om by Viana verby te kom, maar dis die volgorde waarin hulle gaan eindig. Tony Viana in die eerste plek, daar die ligte van hom flits hy uit blydskap vir hierdie oorwinning. Jy kan sien die son is al baie laag. Jeff Goddard, en ek het 'n idee, die twee manne gaan so bietjie met mekaar gesels aan die einde van hierdie wedren, na daardie Brad McCleary wat hier bietjie wyd gaan in Nashua draai in die einde van die pouvak. Dit lyk vir my of hy die daar aan die binnekant van hom ingekom het en in die tweede plek ingeskuif het in klas E. Maar dis is ons dit voorlopig, is dit dan eerste in klas A en algeheel eerste Tony Viana, tweede of eerste in klas B en 6de algeheel Martinus Breers in sy Golf 16 klip, eerste in klas C Mike White in sy Toyota Conquest RSI. Hy is in die 7de plek algeheel. Eerste in klas D is dit Neil Brink, en eerste in klas E het ons dit as Brian Light. En daar is die eerste 6 posisies algeheel.
Well, we've said it so often, Tony Viana starting from 4th on the grid, don't discount him, he never gives up. There he came, right through the whole pack, and went to the front. He had to push and barge his way to the front, but push and barge he did, and Tony Viana has once again come out.